The bridge of the royal barge Kaiven, normally a bustling hub of activity, the brains and heart of the ancient and regal vessel, was deathly silent. And for good reason. The emperor himself stood at the podium of command, and he was not in a good mood. Nope, not in a good mood at all. Emperor? A miserable Lorsk said to the back of his carapace, glittering with gold filigree and gemstones. He looked like a giant Faberge egg with huge ivory-white mandibles resembling elephant tusks, also heavily encrusted with gold and gems. Why wear a crown when you can be one? The emperor said nothing. He just scuttled on his four massive and gold-encrusted legs so as to fully turn his back on the miserable being behind him, embellished in silver and polished titanium. Emperor! Silence. Father, please. The emperor heaved his rhinoceros-sized bulk in the equivalent of a sigh. He couldn't bear to look at his firstborn, the crown prince of the Lorsk Empire, and a fucking idiot. He couldn't even look at his son without being overwhelmed by anger, grief, and guilt. Do you have any idea what you have done? He finally said, his back still turned. I still stand by my actions, his son exclaimed, his mandibles twitching in righteous anger. Your actions? Your actions? The emperor shouted, finally scuttling around to face his son, and raged. Your actions were those of an entitled fool. Father, the crown prince exclaimed. There are commoners? Is that what we would call these noble servants of the empire? He heaved a sigh once more. We do like to maintain an air of perfection to our subjects, the emperor said. But you have ruined that already. I merely give voice to what everyone present is thinking, and what they are thinking is that you are a moron. It was an attack on our sovereignty, the crown prince screeched in reply. We had to. An attack on our sovereignty should be dealt with by the sovereign, the emperor screeched angrily in reply. Are you the sovereign? The crown prince closed his mandibles and looked downward. And you never will be. Father, you are unfit to rule, to guide, to protect, to bear the burden imposed by the will of the divine. No, you are the crown prince no longer. That falls to your sister now. You can't. I am the... You are the greatest fool in 100 generations. The emperor, his father, screeched with a snap of his mandibles, marring the delicate filigree. You are wrong, the crown prince shouted, causing everyone to gasp in shock. Am I? The emperor replied with a sneering flex of his mandibles. Tell me, O great sage, O blessed prophet, are you aware of the dominion of 1,000 suns? Yes. What are they called now? The Ka system. And the undying queen of the blood nebula? Dead. The prince replied quietly. And the dread pirates of the unending void? In jail. And, last but certainly not least, the mad gods of the void? On medication, his son said miserably. And, O great admiral, exactly how were those medications applied? Fath, emperor. Into which orifice were they inserted? That's right. You just picked a fight with the only species in the galaxy to develop an FTL suppository. But they dared to lay claim to our territory. What was I supposed to? You were supposed to contact me. Instead, you have started a war over a little turd of a dead system that we aren't ever going to use. Did you even bother to determine if they knew they violated our space? How did they not know? It was a deliberate, Polysaccharides. Chains of glucose? Mostly. Their armor is made of frozen wood? Yes, Emperor. Humans? The Emperor chuckled. He turned to the Lorsk, who delivered the paternity test results. Make the same substance and run some tests on it. Humans are weird as fuck, but their weirdness is usually not without purpose. Usually, yes, Emperor. Emperor, we are being hailed. Put them through. The Emperor struggled to maintain his composure as the image of the battleship was replaced by a horrific mix of flesh and metal. Half of the creature's face was replaced with metal and plastic, and one eye was clearly artificial, as was at least one appendage. What remained of the being's flesh looked as if it had been torn apart and hastily put together again, which is exactly what happened. I am Emperor Ulkvan of the Lorsk, the Emperor proclaimed. I am President Logan of the Human Union, President Logan replied. First of all, nice ship. You guys elevate gaudy to transcendent levels. It's the essence of ATGE. ATGE? The Emperor asked, confused. He wasn't sure if the translators got that right. It is one of our acronyms. It means awful taste, great execution. Bold words from someone in a ship made of sawdust. It is magnificent sawdust, but were you out of iron? If so, we can send you some. It isn't expensive. President Logan laughed and then paused. I like you. Pity it is under such circumstances. Indeed, the Emperor stated. Firstly, I wish to earnestly apologize for any loss of civilian life. Well, any life. That is inexcusable. I understand you place great value upon your civilians. His son started to speak but thought the better of it. He was stupid but not that stupid. We do. However, these were contractors. They knew the risks. Contractors. Independent businesses or individuals who, in this case, agreed to undertake a difficult task in a hazardous environment. They willingly risked their lives for truly astronomical amounts of money. Ah, a Lescarel, a technical mercenary. Pretty much, President Logan replied. While we are definitely not happy, it isn't the same as attacking an established colony. They were civilians, but in name only. President Logan paused for a moment. And I suppose we need to apologize for not contacting all neighboring civilizations, even ones that were considerably distant. The Human Union views this as an unfortunate incident, not a declaration of war. So, the Emperor said, we're good, provided our terms are met. The Emperor bobbed up and down in a nod. All human prisoners and any captured equipment, and the one mining vessel we disabled will be returned along with appropriate compensation for any damage or loss of life. He sighed a pained sigh. And we will hand over the individual responsible for the attack. Father, no. The price of peace is sometimes costly, my son. I can lose one Lorsk or I can lose 1 billion. I am truly sorry. Idiot you may be, you are my idiot, and I do love you. But I love the Lorsk Empire more. Forgive me. As his son wailed as he was dragged away, the Emperor turned to the President. What will happen to him? He will face our justice, the President replied. If his actions were not an official act of the Lorsk, then he is guilty. He stands accused of piracy and murder. He will be tried and, if convicted, face the same sentence as a human who committed those acts. We haven't had the death penalty for quite some time, so he will be imprisoned, likely for life. He is to receive no special treatment. Honor demands it. He won't, President Logan said firmly. The Emperor looked away as he gathered himself. Is it possible to send him gifts or otherwise aid him? I know in our prisons the families can. The President smiled gently, or he probably did. His face is fucked up. War will do that to you. You can, after a fashion. There is an account that you can deposit funds into. They will be available to him to purchase items approved by our prison system. Can I visit him? Of course. And that's why they call me Your Majesty. A battered and muscular Lorsk laughed as he reclined on the bare concrete floor. So you really are royalty? A tattooed, muscular, and wicked-looking woman in the quilted undergarment that served as the base layer of the protective armor needed outside on the hellish dirtball they were on this year. She pressed a nail gun against the Lorsk's shell and fired another nail into his thick carapace. Part of an intricate design with both Lorsk and human characters. When polished with a buffing wheel, it would look quite nice. And it was determined that a lifetime of labor building the exact thing I destroyed would be what you humans call poetic, and what I call you all being assholes once again. The human laughed and drove in another nail. Sucks to be you, the woman snickered. It's strange, the former prince said as another nail was driven home. I am actually happier here than I ever was as a prince. Bullshit. As a prince, I was in many ways more constrained. Honor, duty, impossible standards to meet. A brilliant father and sister against whom I always fell short. Because I am a moron. You don't have to tell me. Fuck you, the former prince, now called Your Majesty or just Maj among his many friends. What you call prison, I call freedom. You been drinking paint stripper again? The woman asked. I still can't believe it doesn't kill you. I especially enjoy the stuff in the red bottle, Maj said. But think about it. The man don't hassle us down here. No way they are setting one foot on this shit heap until we are done. They just drop off supplies and fuck off. You trustees run the show, and you guys aren't that bad as long as I pull my load. Well, except for Donald. He was an asshole. Yeah, the woman said as she pulled out some bronze brazing wire and a hammer. Pity what happened to him. A real shame. Truly tragic, Maj snickered. But you know what they say. Snitches get run over by an earth mover. Ha! The woman said. Now hold still. Epilogue. Sister, Maj exclaimed, beside himself with joy, as he jumped out of the shuttle at an orbital platform, orbiting yet another toxic world. His sister gasped when she saw her brother, or what was supposed to be her brother. What rushed to embrace her was scarcely recognizable.
His carapace was deformed, warped by the bulging muscles underneath, crazed with cracks, and decorated with strange, barbaric runes, mostly in some unknown script, assumedly human. The one she could read, she wished she couldn't. One of his arms was missing, replaced by a ghoulish undead contrivance of metal and plastic. He looked like something right out of the history books or one of those silly Hollyvids. Except this wasn't makeup. Clevan, she asked as the strange and monstrous thing grabbed her. I haven't heard that name in decades, he said. I'm Maj, now. He paused. I'm sorry about Dad. Dad? Sorry, Maj said, it means father. I hope his passing was as peaceful as his reign, he said, trying to adopt the way of speaking that had been abandoned long ago. It was, his sister, the Empress, said. He thought of you often and spoke highly of your adventures, though they could scarcely be believed. In fact, I thought that you were embellishing your accomplishments as you once did. She looked at her brother again in pure disbelief. Until now. I treasured each and every missive, Maj said. They mattered more than you can ever know. Oh. I managed to watch your coronation. Little Miss Prissy Pants cut quite the regal figure. Prissy Pants? I'm proud of you, you know. What you have accomplished already. I'm glad you are finally normalizing relations with these humans. They are fuck. They are difficult, to say the least, but they are great people once you get to know them. That is partly why I am here, the Empress said. In addition to meeting with President Rodriguez to formalize the treaty, I came to see you. Ah, that is so nice. It's great to see you, sis. I mean Empress, he said happily. I'll be direct, the Empress said. We are establishing an embassy on Earth, and we need an ambassador, someone familiar with the humans and their cust. I'll stop you right there, sis, Maj said. No. But I will have your sentence commuted. You will be free. No, I won't, Maj said. I take that job, and I won't be Maj anymore. I will be Clevan, the fool, the fallen prince chained to a diplomatic post as far from the palace as is possible, a dishonored exile. No. Brother. It's not like that. To you, perhaps, but to every other Lorsk? Besides, look at me. Look at what I've become. Can you imagine this, he said, gesturing to himself, embellished in silver? I would be a freak, a dishonored, mangled freak, a figure of pity and dishonor. Down there, I have hardship, so much hardship, but I have honor, not only an honor but respect, something I never had in the Empire and never will, and I won't give it up for comforts that I don't even remember anymore. He looked down. I hate him, you know? Who? Clevan, the idiot prince. I can't fucking stand him. I might be stuck on one hellish posting after another, but down there, I'm free. I'm free of him, free from the Empire, free from everything. Besides, it's not that bad down there once you get used to it. I'm a heavy equipment operator now. Here, look. Here's a hollow of my rig. Isn't it magnificent? Look at how big it is. The Empress, completely stunned, looked numbly at what was, in all honesty, a magnificent machine. The humans really could build them.